Yo, what is going on, everybody? Episode 119 of many. I've got some sauna time this evening, so I figured why not record a quick podcast. Today is Monday. You're hearing this obviously on Thursday. Today was the first day of us moving in to the new warehouse, and of course, with if you've been listening to any of the past episodes, long story short, Priority Fitness, our fitness equipment moving and install company. We travel Wisconsin, but I say the Midwest, to do gym installs, gym servicing, gym moves. We buy out old gym equipment and we'll refurbish it and sell it. So we had a warehouse in Red Granite, Wisconsin. We had to relocate. We just ran out of space and we were renting. We wanted something to call our own. And, we were paying $6,000 a month in rent at our other facility, but we had about 17,000 square feet of storage space. So in comparison, it was actually a really good rate. But we figured if we're going to be paying that much money in rent, maybe we could buy something with that, same amount of money. So we pivoted, we found something bigger, something that would work for us, and today was day one of moving in. Well, of course, I get a message this morning from the boys. The loading docks, we have 2 loading docks that we figured, were set up for normal semi-height. The one is actually kind of an awkward size, so when the semi actually backs into the loading dock, it's actually like, 4 to 6 inches too high for the dock. So it still works, but like when it's hard to explain this if you're not familiar with what I'm trying to say here, but there's basically this little plate that we put on from our warehouse into the truck that kind of makes like a ramp. And it's usually supposed to be just a nice flat ramp. You can just drive in and out of it with a forklift. It's nice and easy. Well, ours, we have to, this specific loading dock, it's like 4 to 6 inches too high. So when we put our little plate there, the little ramp, it literally is like a ramp. So not the most convenient. Then our other loading dock, so we receive trucks every Monday from Texas, right? So we get these trucks every Monday morning, and that's usually with all the new product that we're doing our installs with. And the widest pallet that we almost get every Monday is like the exact same size as our door. And so actually when we try to take that pallet off, it like doesn't fit properly if the boxes aren't stacked perfectly. So today we found that out, and now they had to unstack everything off this pallet. And these, think about like 5 treadmills in boxes stacked high, and these are commercial units. They can be rather heavy, 400 pounds a piece. So now we're trying to like figure out how to make this loading dock better. So long story short, my purpose of this is, now we're a building owner. Now it's not just, you look at these things and you buy a property and you don't really know what you're getting into until you really get into it. And I say every time we buy a property, we definitely learn something, right? We get there and we, walk through it and we're like, oh, this is great. This is perfect. Every building we bought for a gym, for a warehouse, but it's always more than you anticipated. So if you ever purchase anything, right? A vehicle you want to restore, a house you want to rebuild, or, any kind of purchase, there's got to be a budget. You have to have some kind of budget for the unknown or for the things you didn't really think about, or, there's always going to be something. Always prepare for the worst. That's something that I talk to you guys about here. Always prepare for the worst case scenario and hope for the best. But you have to be ready for that rainy day. So obviously this isn't necessarily the rainy day, but there is some things we could do to make the warehouse work better for the guys. Now, when you're moving heavy gym equipment all the day and you're, when you're doing kind of manual labor like that, you want to try to make the job as seamless as possible to keep everybody in a good mood. So this is kind of more of a high priority project for us. Like, how can we, again, make the warehouse work the way it needs to work? So we need to get a forklift now because we didn't own a forklift before, and we got to figure out a way to get rid of our cardboard because we get ungodly amounts of cardboard and styrofoam. So our old warehouse, they had bought a compactor or a baler for us, and they were actually taking care of all the cardboard for us. They would take it down below and they would bale it and then they would sell it. And anyway, so just a little bit of, not a learning curve, but, something we have to kind of understand and problem solve for and figure it out. So this is your message to, don't forget, there's always going to be something you didn't really realize or didn't think about. Who would have known that they would have had 2 loading docks that wouldn't have been like a standard semi-size, right? So anyways, next time we buy a warehouse, we'll make sure that we take measurements and we know exactly what we're getting into. But anyway, so that was kind of today's news. The guys moved about 6 semi-loads worth of gym equipment over there. I think 6 was the final number. And they made some good progress. So by the time you guys hear this, again, it'll be Thursday, right? Or it is Thursday when you're listening to this. We should have most of the warehouse moved over there, other than some new product that we're not transferring over that we're hoping to install by the end of the month. and then some additional stuff that we're going to decide if we're keeping, throwing, selling, scrapping, right? We have to kind of figure all that out. So that is an update on Priority Fitness. I think all the guys are excited, and yeah, we're moving forward with that. So that is note number one. Number two, I just kind of want to tell you guys what it's like being a new business owner. And when I say new business owner, I'm talking about the bar and restaurant. A lot of people, the standard, the employee mindset, you look at it like it must be nice, right? You don't really know the whole story. And I'm not even saying the general, just like the outsiders, right? The people who don't know you, they look at it like it must be nice, and I hate that saying, it must be nice. I mean, you really have no idea what it's like. You have no idea the pain we're going through. You have no idea the amounts of effort and time and money that goes into this stuff, right? But the outside looking in, it's like, oh wow, I wish I was in that position. I wish it must be nice, right? That's the most common saying. So I just want to give you some insight into the first, what was it? February, March, April. We're not quite at 90 days yet, but we are nearing that 90-day mark here in the next 2-ish weeks. I'll just be completely transparent. I do not pay myself from the business. I did not buy this to be able to pay myself all this money. I did not buy this bar and restaurant to load my pockets by any means. And honestly, if you want to know what it's like being a business owner, especially a new business owner, if you're thinking about starting a business or getting into a business or buying an existing business, the bar and restaurant industry is one of the toughest. At least that's what a lot of people say. And that might be part of my motivation as to why I wanted to do it. It was something new, it was something fresh, and I felt like we had a good team, and I felt like we could do something awesome here. And I felt like with the location and the potential that we could turn this place into, I just felt like it was a great opportunity to test skills and really see what we're capable of. So, but I am not paying myself. I have not paid myself. I have spent, and I don't want to say it like this, oh, it's a money pit, right? Some people look at the bar and restaurant, oh, it's a money pit, you're wasting all this money. I invest almost every single dollar that we get right back into the business, and I leverage a credit card so that way we can utilize as much of funds available that we have to make the place a better place sooner than later. I am the type of business owner that I like to utilize cash flow over loan. We get a loan for the property, right, which gives us a mortgage, and we have a monthly payment, and that's no big deal. But I don't typically get a loan to do all the renovations and the upgrades. So when you see, if you follow us, if you watch any of the updates that are happening there, and the same thing with all the gyms, we purely use cash flow to build these places into better places. That's just been my mindset since I've started. Now, I am going back and forth on maybe getting a loan, maybe doing some kind of bigger renovation, because at the bar and restaurant, again, if you're familiar, I would like to seal coat the blacktop. I'd like to bring it back to life. I'd like to restripe it. I'd like to paint the exterior a little bit a different color to kind of make it pop. New signage out front, maybe a new LED sign so you can see like a smart sign so we can have like our specials out there and advertising. We would like to kind of clean up the patio and do some more work there. Right? The projects never end. We'd like to update the dock. Right? We'd like to update the dock and restain that and fix the stairs, and again, never ending. Right? We paid $10,000 just to have all of our doors fixed and replaced and have all this, the locks and the doors weren't working properly. We had to put a new kind of hinge on them, and that way they wouldn't rub and walk. And anyway, so the list goes on and on. And what I'm telling you is it's not as easy as it seems. It's easy to look on the outside and say, man, I wish. And I'm guilty of that. I've looked at other people and be like, man, I wish. Oh, it must be nice, right? That's just the easy way of looking at something and I wish I was in his shoes or her shoes, right? It takes a lot of work, and I work basically 7 days a week at this facility. There's not really a day I don't show up there. The only day I do not show up there is if I am out of town, which typically I'm only out of town. We had a family vacation we went on, and I'm going to see my grandpa here soon. But other than that, I am there 7 days a week, and I am on call all the time. And oftentimes there's things that I'm learning, so even when I'm not there and there's an issue, I'm doing something on my computer to fix the system, update the system, right? Make the system work better. I encourage all of my employees or my team to talk to me first. If there's an issue with another staff, if there's an issue with this or that or a customer, I say bring that to me first so I can help bridge the gap, and I want to be the communicator, and I want to make sure we're all on the same page. I want to make sure that we're building the right lines of communication and that our team is communicating properly and that the customers are being heard, right? I respond to all the Facebook messages, all the Facebook comments. I do all of the Facebook posts, and that's something I'm new to. I haven't done that for any of other businesses before, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to start posting more, and I'm going to let people know exactly what's happening. And so I'm not saying it's not all cracked up. It's not all, what's the term there? It's, I'm enjoying every second of it. I'm just telling you guys from the outside looking in, there is a lot of work that goes into it. And so I'm not saying this for like, oh, feel bad for me or, oh, you know, you're working so hard. I'm not asking for any pats on the backs. I'm not here to, you know, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just telling you guys, if you make a decision, if you go into, you want to do a startup or you want to buy something or you want to change something or whatever, there's a lot of work and there's not a whole lot of reward, especially up front. So usually when you hear about some new guru, some new famous guy, it looks like they got famous overnight. Well, you don't know what they've done the last 15 years to get to where they got to that point where now the internet sees the people or the business is now big enough that more people know about it, right? There is a long period of time that it's going to suck. You're going to have to do a lot more than you want to do. Sure, when you buy it, it's like what they call like the shiny ball syndrome. You see the new shiny ball and you want to try the new thing. And don't get me wrong, I had definitely had some of that with the bar and restaurant as well. I'm like, wow, this seems awesome. It seems like it cash flows, right? And it seems great, and I don't even need to fix anything. And then you get into it, and you're like, okay, let's do this, let's do that, let's change the vision here, let's implement this, right? And before you know it, I mean, there's a lot of money being spent. So literally, all of our cash flow goes right back into the business. Now, I take care of our employees first. That's always my first and foremost goal. We're never going to sacrifice payroll or enough money that we can't pay our people. But any other dollar that comes into the business, for the most part, goes right back into it. So I just wanted to kind of say that. I don't know what my lesson is necessarily. It's difficult. It's tough. And life is tough. But you have to make tough decisions and you have to move forward and you have to grind. And I'm in a position where we've got these other businesses and other things going on that I don't need to worry about paying myself. So I can leverage our other things to do this. And that's how we've built all of our businesses. We've always leveraged our other assets, our other businesses, our other things going on to do the next thing. And that's what we're doing right now. So Priority Fitness has been the company we've always leveraged. It's always been the company that sacrifices its cash flow to help build the gyms and help grow the organizations. And still to this day, we utilize our PF guys to do a lot of the work and do a lot of the renovations and do a lot of the, right? Like they are the moving force to behind a lot of our businesses. So again, we're just in a unique position. We've got a very good team, a team that's willing to help out. They don't have that attitude where that's not my job. They are willing to step up where it's needed, and they all do a very good job of seeing the bigger vision. So that's, I guess, my note for you guys today is it's not always what it's all cracked up to be, or whatever that saying is. It's not. I want to get you to. I guess my thought here is I want you to not have that mindset of it must be nice. Like if you guys want something, I want you guys to go out and get it. I want you guys to do it on your own. Ask for help, but like I want you guys to be proud of what you're doing and realize and take us. The normal human reaction is it must be nice and wow, it must be so easy. I wish. That's the normal human reaction. We all do it. But next time you think about saying that, I want you to take a step back and say, wow, I bet he had it tough or she had it tough at one point. I bet she worked really hard to get where she's at. Give credit where credit's due and try to break that normal human thought process there. And that's what the majority of us are all going to do. So just think for a second before you say things. And I think this is a good lesson, like in a lot of things that we say, we should probably think before we speak. But next time when you're judging a book by the cover, just think for a second, what have they been through and what were their, I just, again, you can't imagine. Not a lot of people know my complete story. Not a lot of people listen to episodes 1 through 4. Not a lot of people realize how I started. So the natural instinct when looking at me is it's some young kid, and I bet, he had investors or mom and dad paid for this or that. That's not the case at all, right? But again, I don't care enough to tell every single person my story. I don't need to defend myself. I have built what I've built on my own and with amazing friends and family and team, right? Like, I don't take my own credit. I'm saying, but I started with $2,000 or $2,500. And that's what we built our businesses on. And anyways, I just want you guys to know, don't judge a book by the cover, and take a step back before you make those judgments, and really think about, what it takes to be great, and how these people operate. And I just want to give you that as a mindset. So anyways, that was my main message for you today. Priority Fitness is rolling hot. The bar and restaurant, we did an amazing cleaning up today of the outside patio area and the front area. I'm super excited. I'm currently looking for some awesome patio furniture for us to utilize, and we're looking at the plans today. We're actually going to have a really massive patio area if I can find enough patio furniture. I don't want to drop, I don't know how much money. I don't want to spend $10,000 on just patio furniture, but I do want it to look really nice. If you're familiar with the area, our goal here with the bar and restaurant on the restaurant side is we're going to have seating all along that fence, all the way along the water there. So you'll really be able to come sit in a beautiful area, be right in the water. It'll be beautiful. And then we're also going to have like those string alley style lights with light bulbs. So at night it'll be beautiful. During the day it'll just kind of give that loungy coffee alley vibe, feeling. And it's going to be a great place. So each and every day we're doing awesome stuff. And that's what I've got for you guys. I appreciate all of you for listening. I hope you guys are enjoying kind of hearing some of the behind the scenes. Hopefully you guys are enjoying some tips and tricks and some things that I'm learning as I go on. I am trying to spend more time with my reading. I got another book done last week. I'd like to up that number to get some more reading done again. I have been practicing or trying to get better at skimming some books. So here's my last tip. So when you read books, a lot of these books have like one golden nugget, right? They have like one or two main pieces of information that they came up an idea with, and then they built stories around it. They built pages around it. Now, I don't agree with that for like an like a book about somebody's life. I think those books, you can't really skim it. I haven't tried it, I guess, but I think reading somebody's life story, you have to read page by page and understand really what they went through and how they did all that. But as far as like a book that's trying to teach you something, or it has a point, or whether it's on anxiety, or it's like a self-help book, or maybe like a some kind of educational book, something that's trying to teach you something, I do believe that you can kind of skim and grab the nuggets and read the first and last paragraphs of that chapter or that page or whatever. So I'm just trying to kind of figure that out with some of the books that I have in my queue that I can just kind of get through a little bit faster. My brain can work inside that book for a little bit and kind of understand the piece of information it's trying to give me. So last week I read a book like that, and I did get some good stuff. It was just about how to have better conversations with your team and how to actually say less and get better answers and ask more. And anyways, it was an interesting read. So I challenge you to maybe try that too. Don't feel like you have to read every single page. Also, don't feel like if you start a book, you have to finish it. If it's a book that doesn't grab you, don't force read it. I do that. I will do that, but I encourage you just to read. Enjoy reading. If it's a book you're not 100% enjoying and you're not in the habit of reading it, don't force that book. Just set it aside and come back to it later. Maybe there's a date. You'll never be able to read all the books out there, right? So make sure if you are reading a book, you are enjoying it or you're reading it for a purpose. If a mentor or somebody, I don't want to call myself a mentor, but if I give you a book recommendation, it's because I got a lot away from it, and I think that the general people that I'm recommending it to can get a lot from it too. So if you ever ask me, what books do you recommend, I typically will ask a follow-up question like, what are you looking for? What situations are you in? What are you trying to learn or understand? Because that will kind of gear the recommendation that I give you. I'm not just going to give you a generic this, that, or that. I do have a couple top reads that I think everybody should read, but if you say I need to learn more about finances or I need to learn about working out or whatever, I might give you a different book recommendation depending on you as a person. So anyways, get out, get your reading in, enjoy the nice weather, get your steps in, be healthy, be active, be 1% better. Just a little bit better each and every day is what I encourage you to do. So find that one thing that you need to keep working on, build a habit around it, and continue working on it. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.